Well, ladies and gents, welcome to Lady Bitch Time. Lady Bitch Time is a program invented by me. You're a lady. Not so much. I am like the most extreme tomboy on this planet. But that aside, this program was invented to bitch about whatever the fuck I am feeling like at this moment in time. You can bitch with me. In fact, in the future, I will be bitching about something that you need to bitch about. Who knows? I'm your host, Amanda, and new episodes will be airing every Tuesday on the Pew Pew Audio Network. So stick around, bitches.
Well, looks like it's time to dive into another great beverage. It's Dudes with Brews on a Porch. Gonna check in with my friend Drew for this week's episode. Who's he gonna talk to? What are they gonna talk about? And what will they drink? What are you waiting for? Get your ass off the lawn and come on up to the porch. It's Dudes with Brews.
I don't know what episode number this is. I think we're almost in the 40s.
Pretty damn close.
Pretty damn close. Dudes with Brews on a Porch. Joined with me, my good friend, former co-host before, Matt.
Yeah, I think this is my fourth time.
Fourth time? Yeah, I believe that's correct. We're going to be diving into a couple different brews. We're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to do more than one because we're going to cut loose a little bit tonight, and I look forward to it. Should we start right away with the Pseudo? The double dry hop Pseudo from Toppling Goliath Brewing Company, which is in Iowa.
That actually surprised me with the name. I saw Sioux, and I was just in the Field Museum.
Well, it says it right on the bottle.
Yeah, from the field,
brewing up history with the Field Museum in Chicago.
Yeah, I was just there about 2.5, 3 months ago.
So you've met Sue?
Oh yeah, I mean I've met Sue many a time.
Has Sue been there for a while?
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure I've met Sue then. So
yeah,
I've hung out with Sue.
Sue's an old hag.
Sue, for those of you that don't know, in the Chicago Museum or the Field Museum in Chicago, is a big ass dinosaur.
Big old Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, she's here to fuck things up and make things the super pale ale and things. When we pour it, man, it straight up looks like a milkshake, like some orange juice.
Yeah, it looks really thick. It looks orange juice / pineapple juice mix. What
you smell that? That's straight hops. Like this is a double dry hop Pseudo pale ale. So there's a couple different varieties of the Pseudo. I've had the regular one before. I've never had the double dry hop Pseudo pale ale.
It kind of smells like pineapple juice.
A little bit, yeah. You could say that. It doesn't have when you pour it doesn't have that much head to it or anything like that. But it's thick. So let me take a swig. I like your glass is nice. It has a dinosaur on it as well, but from Milwaukee Brewing. But we're all friends here. Wow, that's not that as hoppy as you would imagine.
It's definitely not that hoppy. It's kind of like a pina colada.
6.8 on the ABVs, 45 on the IBUs, so a little higher on the IBUs. I don't know if we've had much more than 45 before on the show, so it's up there when it comes to the bitterness, but it's not bad.
It doesn't really taste. It's more sour from the citrus.
I like it though.
Yeah, it's a little scary. It's intimidating looking at it in a glass. It is really, really hazy. You can't see anything through it.
It looks like my pee after a good night out. You know what I mean? Hey-o.
I don't think my pee's ever been that thick.
That's some R. Kelly stuff right there. A little Kobe Bryant action. Didn't he pee on somebody?
Haven't we all peed on somebody at some point?
No, I don't think we all have.
Oh.
You have? You've urinated? I've urinated on places I shouldn't have. You gotta go sometimes.
Fair enough.
But yeah, man. I recently, since we haven't seen each other in a little bit, I took you to the airport a couple of weeks back,
which was awesome. Thank you.
I discovered a podcast called Podcast Rodeo that randomly did a review of this show.
Really?
He didn't like it.
Dick.
There's a guy named Dave Jackson who is apparently in the podcast world is kind of revered. So he might have fucked some things up for me.
Is he revered as being an asshole? Or
To some people, I don't think he's an asshole. I think he had valid points, which is why I was kind of focusing on the levels prior to doing this, and that's one of the things he mentioned, and I've obsessed about it. And I was pretty offended about it, by what he had to say, and I was pissed because people actually pay this guy to review their podcast. I didn't pay him. I didn't even know. It's the first thing that comes up when you search up my show on iTunes, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then
so what did y'all have to say?
he only listened to about 3 minutes of an episode.
Okay, yeah, you get a real
with me and Anna, and he said that it's boring talk, which it might be to some people. I understand that it's boring talk. I don't get to the beer fast enough, and the audio levels are horrendous, which they probably were at that point in time. You know, even though I have a radio background, this setup that I have here is way different than a studio setup, like a legit studio setup. And I think at that time I was using my old mixer that I had to share the mic input, and I split it. So if somebody doesn't have the same voice as me, it's going to be harder, you know what I mean, to adjust the levels.
I think I have the same voice as you. The exact same voice as you.
Well, you have your own thing now.
Oh.
You have your own channel, whereas, remember my old one?
Yeah.
Yeah. You and me, I mean, with dudes, odds are it's going to be a similar kind of sound, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, our first one, when we were at your place, we were on the same channel.
Mm-hmm. You know, and I understand that not everyone wants to hear my random banter with my friends, but I know some people that like it.
What? I was kind of looking through, going over some of the ones I haven't listened to today, and
I think people can find it interesting that don't know me.
They're like 150 following right now, almost.
On what?
On the Facebook page.
Oh, Facebook? Yeah. I got like 660 on Twitter.
Fuck.
I don't know how many are bots. I don't think a lot of them are. I try to get rid of the bots when I can. You can buy followers on Facebook. Did you know that? That's stupid, though.
How much do you have to pay?
Like $5, but they're all bots, and it doesn't help you. It doesn't help your cause by any means. I know people that do it, though. Or I've known of people that have done it. It's not smart.
I have people that, if anybody follows me, they are bored as F.
But yeah, anyways, this guy said, yeah, it was boring because, well, Anna, she's kind of soft-spoken, and had she had her own channel, it would have sounded a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But she mentioned that she was awkward. He's like, well, why is she awkward? Blah, 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 blah. But he had some valid points. He did have some valid points.
How can you get very many valid points off listening
3
to
minutes?
3 minutes?
He's just being a douche. He's like, well, I don't hate them all, but this is blah, 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 blah. I don't get a lot of time to spend time with my friends, so this is my once a week in Denver to share the world with some porch banter and drink some beer, damn it. People like the beer.
We're not in Denver.
In Denver. I can't fucking speak.
Endeavor. Yeah,
there we go. Something's wrong with the way I talk. I don't know. I can't read out loud. I can't say words. This is a horrible thing, but I have a hard time with criticism, Matt. I really do, and I'm working on accepting it. But he had some valid points, and I want to say I do want to thank him for reviewing the show because I have become more aware of certain things that I need to work on, and I'm going to do my best to get to it. But I'm not going to stop just talking to my friends because they're my friends. Who else am I going to talk to? I don't fucking know anyone famous.
Exactly.
I talked to a dude from The Chi. That was pretty cool. I started watching that show. It's really good. Really good.
The other week, 2 weeks ago, I met the keyboard player from Gap Band.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 70s funk band.
Really?
And
I don't know who that is.
Well, I guess maybe 80s. I don't know. I'm young and they're old. But he was a nice guy, and then after I met him, I looked up some of their music, and it's pretty groovy.
Nice.
It was pretty cool to listen to it. But yeah, it was just kind of walking around the Kansas City airport. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's like the most famous person you've ever met that you like were like real like fangirl about?
I don't know if
I have for sure.
I don't know if
I have over the phone talking to people. Like when I was at the radio station, I got to interview the dude that plays Jesus on The Walking Dead.
That'd be cool.
Tom Payne, yeah. And I got to interview Jeff Ross too. You know what Jeff Ross is, the roast master?
Yep.
I straight up right away, Like I just like, hey man, I love what you do, and I'm a huge fan. I'm just gonna let you know that I love it. And then it leads to good conversations.
Yeah.
Jeff Ross told me I had really good questions. He probably tells it to everybody, but you know what? I felt special.
Yeah, you are special.
I asked Tom Payne about spoilers, and I said I understand spoiler culture because there was a line this season that was said in this recent season that foreshadows something that's going to happen later, and I know it's going to happen later because I read the comics. And I said that to him. I was just like, for those of you that don't read the comics, like, how do I express this excitement of this discovery? And he's like, that's kind of on you, man. He's like, I think spoilers are frustrating. I was just like,
but
come on, Tom.
That's one of the things that they do though with Walking Dead is they put up those correlations between the show and the comic.
It's very different now. They're not following the comic whatsoever right now.
They're way off of it now.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about Morgan going to Fear?
I don't care. Morgan's fucked up. Like he's
really fucked right now.
Like I don't. he needs to chill. So he's crossing over. Like is it modern day?
I as far as I know,
I've never watched Fear of the Walking Dead.
It's all right.
I have an idea for another podcast I want to start.
What's that?
And it is zombie related. It would be called The Walking Dad. And it would be half of it's going to be, just talking about parenting and like, finding like random like parenting articles and just like kind of comparing it to what I do. And then also talking about preparing for the zombie apocalypse and like Walking Dead 28 days later and things like that.
Oh, I thought it was just like after working third shift, being a dad.
I could talk about that as well. Yeah.
Because, I know that when you're watching Ashton all day after you've been working, you're basically a zombie.
Come 3 o'clock, I'm just counting down till Sierra gets home. I was like, I cannot wait to just fall into bed. I get pretty tired. I'm up for at least, 17 hours a day, which for some people, that's quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And then I only get sometimes the most during the week at night, 6 hours of sleep.
And I bet 6 hours is uncommon.
Yeah, well, you
get 4 to,
4 to 5,
3 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
this looks like a juice, man.
It looks like a juice. I forgot. See, and this is one of the things that Dave doesn't like is I don't go into the details right away. So, Dave, this double dry hopped ale showcases the Citra hop for a well-balanced beer that is delicate in body with a mild bitterness in the finish. I would say that's accurate.
That's accurate.
Ferocious aromas of citrus and mango give a refreshing taste that is bright with just enough bite. That's Toppling and the Goliath Brewing Company down there in Decorah, Iowa, in the United States of America microbrewery. It's delicious. We're talking about the double dry hop Pseudo. That's not how I talk on the radio, but I'd imagine
that's how you talk.
No, it's not. On the radio?
Well, in the commercials.
Yeah, you have to. Well, kind of. Do they still air? I think they still air some of my commercials.
I'm never around, so I don't really know.
I think they do from time to time.
And I listen to B104.
What? I still have a show. I still have a radio show Sunday nights. You should listen to it. It's only an hour long, 7 to 8. Punk rock, baby. Drew's Punk Rock Power Hour. I pick the music every week, put it together, talk about some shit, play it.
I just don't listen to the radio very much unless it's my Pandora radio station. And there's no DJ on that.
Believe it or not, radio is still the most popular medium when it comes to even online stuff. Because
I believe that.
Because of the local aspect of it, and I guess that's it.
They got music. It's local. People listen to it.
Yeah. Well, people like the local feel to it. You're talking about things that they can relate to. You're talking about area events. You're talking about area businesses. Mm-hmm. So people are attracted to it. You got the local news. So it's good. I don't listen to the radio either, to be honest. I listen to Spotify for music, and then I listen to podcasts. I got a lot of podcasts I try to listen to.
That's one thing that I've been on your podcast for a few times already, and
thank you for joining us again.
I just don't listen to very many other podcasts, and people.
Well, you can just listen to this one. That's fine.
Yeah, well, people keep telling me, "Oh, you got to listen to this podcast. You got to listen to this one." When I travel, I always listen to this one and this one. I'm like, well,
they're hard.
Sleep on the plane, bro.
Right.
And then I just like
podcasts can be hard to follow up on. I subscribe to a lot of them. Most of them I kind of cherry pick. Like when it comes to like the WTF podcast, formerly Nerdist, now it's called ID10T with Chris Hardwick. It depends who they talk to. Anna Faris, Unqualified, that's a really good one. But it's depending on who they talk to, who their guest is.
So it depends on the guest.
Right.
So nobody's listening to this one.
Right.
Nobody gives a fuck
people
about
listen
me.
to this one. People listen.
People actually care about what I have to say.
You know, I get enough plays that I'm happy with, and I still like doing it. It's fun. Like I said, just gives me a reason. You know what? What happens if I die tomorrow? You know, and then my kids are gonna grow up without a dad, and they can always go back to this to kind of see what my personality was like.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a fun hobby. I don't do it because
it's cool.
I don't think I'm ever gonna make money. This podcast got me free beers at Carbon 4. That's pretty sweet, right? Carbon 4 was fucking awesome, by the way. Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I was there last summer, 2 summers ago almost. I don't know.
You can really just drive past it because the front of it.
Yeah, it's the old Ale Asylum.
Right.
Yeah, and I used to go when Ale Asylum was there. I used to go there all the time, and then 2 summers ago I came home and I went to the new Ale Asylum.
It's nice. I went there.
Yeah, and then my brother, he lives in Madison. He's like, well, check out where Ale Asylum used to be. It's Carbon 4. And I was like, kind of been hearing about Carbon 4. I was gone, you know. I'm a big fan of Carbon 4. Great beer.
It is good. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a cool place. And it's crazy, like, that little spot distributes for the state.
Oh, yeah.
Which is nuts. You know,
they pump it out.
They really do. And it's kind of crazy. They were talking about how I don't know if they're necessarily looking to distribute outside of Wisconsin. Just because it's successful here doesn't mean it's going to be successful other places. Or sometimes it's a little too much bang for the buck. I guess I don't really know, but there's so many craft beers out there. So many.
Yeah, it's a hard
business to.
Huge growing market though. If you get in at the right time, if you get to the right customers, I mean it's a big time business. I'm a home brewer. We've talked about my home brews all the time.
We got one of your home brews coming up.
Yeah, it's almost ready. We kind of have a sampler today. It's I just bottled it yesterday, so there's no carbonation in it yet, but we popped one open to get some flavor. This one's a rhubarb.
Like rhubarb.
Raspberry wheat.
Raspberry.
I call it
wheat.
Rhubarb wheat.
How original.
I saw it on Untapped. It's like, I thought of this idea. I was like, oh man, I am so.
You could call it Baltz's Rube. Baltz's Rube.
I don't know. The thing is, it's raspberry, it's rhubarb, it's wheat. Like, what do I call it?
You gotta think of like a name. You like Pseudo Pale Ale. We're gonna be diving into some Deschutes in a little bit. The fresh squeezed IPA.
Yeah,
what can we name this one?
I mean, every name of beer that I've thought of for my homebrews,
the radical rasp. There we go.
I don't know.
Who's like a raspy?
Rasbarb.
Who's a raspy jazz singer? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't listen to jazz.
Yeah, I don't either. So that's kind of a trick question.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, so it's kind of sweet, berry-like on the front,
mm-hmm.
and then sour in the back. So
sour in the back, berry in the front.
Yeah, it kind of hits the back of your throat. It's sour. but
It's
you know,
back
with
of your
the initial
throat.
smells of it,
Do you think if you talked like real sexy, like you could like really like get someone going on this beer?
I mean,
The malts is rhubarb, raspberry wheat,
it's not for sale.
free samples only, baby. You come over here, we crack one open, hit you in the back of the throat, but it's soft on the tongue. Oh boy,
yeah.
that's Baltz's Brewing Company, baby. Come on down.
Bolts and Sons.
And sons, when you're done with the main brewmaster, you get one of the sons.
That's going a little too far.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm still waiting for somebody to make a Dudes with Brews on a porch beer. I would like either like Dudes with Brews on a porter. Hey yo,
cool.
That's a good one, huh?
Yeah, I like that.
Or Dudes with IBUs for an IPA. I like that. You know, I don't know. Somebody can do it. Someone can do it.
I mean,
I'll market the shit out of it.
We don't have the next brew planned.
There you go.
My dad
Let's
kind
make
of
it.
wants a farmhouse ale. He likes something a little lighter that he likes to call them lawnmower beers. You know, so while he's mowing the lawn, he can find an excuse like, oh shit, you know, I gotta empty the bag.
Mark
and
is
go
an
grab
all-American man.
Oh yeah, Mark.
He's, you know, he gets up, he puts his pants on one leg at a time. He goes and does some hard work at his job that he's been at for a long time, supports his family. He comes home and enjoys a fucking delicious beverage after work.
a delicious Miller High Life every day.
He likes the champagne of beers. And you know what? He goes home. He loves his wife. His wife comes home and makes him a fucking bomb-ass dinner.
He makes dinner.
Does he now?
Yeah,
the roles have reversed, huh?
No, he's been making dinner for a long time. He actually gets home much before my mom.
I've always had the Julie beers. Dinners. Dinners, excuse me.
Well, if the meat was good, my dad made it.
Okay, so your dad's got the better meat.
Yeah.
Good to know. Well, yeah, it's been a while since I've had some cooking at the Baltas. You just cooked me dinner tonight.
It was all right.
Yeah. What's
What is I mean, yeah, it was okay.
chicken? Chicken was a little rough.
I thought it was fucking good.
Little juicy, a little too juicy for me. I like it a little more tender.
Dry that shit out, bitch.
I will.
Microwave that.
What San made was delicious.
I set that up.
What do you mean you set that up?
That cauliflower.
You made that?
I mean, I made the base for that. She just kind of.
Whatever.
Dude, I did.
Don't diminish your lovely wife.
She makes great food.
Yeah.
She makes great food.
Your wife makes me laugh every single time I see her. She says some funny shit.
She's really funny looking.
No, not at all. She says funny stuff, and I love it.
Yeah, she's.
We were talking about
she's a
weight.
hoot.
We're talking about weight and how my goal weight's 190, and then sounds like, oh yeah, Matt's gonna catch up to you in no time. Like,
I'm already at that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Welcome to America, where we get fat.
Yeah, dude. This the last few months have really been.
Well, we're gonna drink a little bit more later tonight, and I don't know if you noticed, but I brought the remainder of that beer we originally had.
the Qingdao.
Yeah, I brought that just for you because I'm not gonna drink it.
What?
Dude, it's like licking a skunk's butt.
I mean, who doesn't like a good skunk butt?
You know, I figured there's a time and place for a skunk butt, but now is not the time. Now with my refined beer palate from doing 40 episodes of Dudes with Brews on a Porch, I am beyond the skunk.
Oh.
I'm so fucking refined. I'm so just...
That's why you had that pinky as far out when you're drinking this fucking beer. That pinky, dude, it was almost touching the ceiling. I was like...
Yeah, I got a mighty pinky. I need a ring for this pinky. So then when I sip it, I kiss it, bitch. And then I sip.
I think we all need pinky rings.
Are those like a thing? Pinky rings?
If they're not, they should be.
Your dogs are barking.
Yeah, well, they bark at everything.
Yeah. So you got a new job. You travel a lot, going from state to state, doing this, doing that.
I'm a rambling man.
Rambling man. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, except I'm faithful to my wife. So I'm
Good.
not really that rambling.
Is that like a really a thing, like where business people like go and bang other people and are like, yeah, what happens on the road stays on the road. Ho ho.
I don't know. I haven't been doing it for very long, but I don't believe that's.
You'd have to be a real piece of shit to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Unless like you and your wife have some sort of arrangement.
Unfortunately, we don't.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, we don't.
No, it's very
And
fortunate you don't.
It's not unfortunate.
If
I don't need any more baggage.
if I
already
had
have two
an
carry-ons.
arrangement like that, I can tell you right now, Sierra would find somebody 10 times better than me in all aspects. Better looking, better shape, better in the sack. I mean, I'm mediocre at best at everything. Mediocre at maintaining audio levels. Mediocre at a lot of things.
And you're a little bit behind on a lot of things. You should just get to the point.
What do you mean behind?
Stop pussyfooting around and just talk about the beer.
Fuck. Get those audio levels. Talk about why your friend Anna is awkward. Well, you'll see over the fucking episode why she's awkward. Dave, give it a fucking minute.
Wait, what Anna? Mm-hmm. She's not awkward.
No, she just says awkward things. Like in a funny way. I love her. She's a good person. I love her very much.
Yeah, Anna's cool.
Yeah.
She had a really cool idea a couple weeks ago.
The walking mom, huh? She stole my idea?
No.
Oh, go ahead.
No. We went roller skating.
Did you?
Yeah, we went to the Spectrum.
What?
Yeah.
Where's my invite?
Sorry.
What is this?
It was adult night.
Not good enough?
I guess not.
Not an adult?
Not really. We
even your beers or your burps taste like fucking hops. Oh my god.
See, I don't see very hoppy. It's more citrusy, but
it's got that hop flavor.
Yeah.
You finished yours off, so you're ready for this next one. Talk about your experience with the thing. I'll prep the info for this.
I mean, we just went to the Spectrum. It was adult night.
The Spectrum, for people that don't know, is a rolling rink locally.
Yeah, rolling
here
rink. It was a $5 cover, which included your skate rental.
Was I working, or I just wasn't invited?
No, it was just four of us.
Okay.
Kind of like not a double date, but we were out and about. So it was San's first time roller skating, and it was interesting. It was basically her holding onto my arm while we were going around in circles. And
dude, it's intimidating sometimes the first time that you roller skate. You see all these people like fucking jamming and shit, like busting moves and doing 360s and front flips and shit. And you're like, oh fuck, I've never done this.
I don't know if anybody was doing front flips, but there were some guys that were stuck in the like fucking roller discos, and they were just fucking jamming and going back and forth.
What kind of tunes do they play at an adult night? Like 90s shit?
There was some 90s shit, but a lot of it was kind of like, I don't know, newer shit, a lot of oldies. It was all over the place,
All right.
You got quite a diverse group of above 21-year-olds, so...
Anyone that like we used to go, because we used to go to the Spectrum in elementary school.
Yeah.
That was the place to be.
No, I mean, not really. They used to have it.
Laser tag.
Laser tag. They took that out, unfortunately.
They made at one point, like, it was after we stopped going, but they made like an area that was like for like 16-year-olds and up. And I guess like weird shit happened.
Yeah, I believe that.
And you know what? You know how this is relatable, Matt, is because every small town, every city has like that go-to spot that you can reminisce about visiting in your elementary school days. Dave.
You know Woody's?
Yeah.
So Woody's was like
the spot.
It was a spot for it was in one of the middle schools, and it was kind of like the teen hangout area at Woodworth, the middle school we went to. And now?
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
No.
It's special ed classrooms.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they just don't have it anymore. They don't have that club anymore, and it's not special ed, but it's more of a
and for people that don't know
seclusion and classrooms. It's
people that don't know what Woody's was is in our elementary school is called Woodworth Elementary. Every Friday night.
Woodworth was a middle school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Middle school. Every Friday nights they would have like a DJ. They had this little like the hangout place for safe place for kids to hang out, and they play music and shit. So it's a cool idea, a cool concept, but I never did it. Like what did we do? So I've known you since 2nd grade.
Yeah.
But we became like real good friends 6th grade.
Yeah, but right when we started middle school, that's when the gang started.
The gang. Who the fuck called it the gang? So the gang.
All of our teachers.
Like,
I saw Miss Olson. So I was substitute teaching, right?
Right.
And Miss Olson referred to us as the gang. Like, how's the gang doing? I was like, yo, we haven't been the gang in a long time. Like, we're still all friends, but you know, Adam's over on the West Coast. Ryan's in fucking Hawaii. You and I are still doing our thing.
I really poured this poorly.
Yeah.
Very badly.
Do you want some head with your beer?
Yeah.
Or do you want some beer with your head? I don't know what
Yeah, so the gang that consisted of you, me, and our friends Adam and Ryan. Hopefully I'll have them on the podcast sometime. But I don't know. Yeah, all of a sudden, like, people just started calling us the gang. The gang. That's as like crazy as it got in town. Was a bunch of middle schoolers roaming the streets,
riding our bicycles.
Yeah, creating a ruckus, doorbell ditching, T-peen,
egging
pool
every
hopping.
now and again once we had some money.
I don't know if I told the story on here. I don't know if I did. So
what story?
We used to go pool hopping. And for those of you that don't know, that's going to be the episode name for those of you that don't know, because I've said it a lot. Pool hopping. We went on Google Earth. Google Earth when it first came out, or when it
that
first
shit was awesome when it first came out.
We typed in an address of the house that we were staying at the night, and we would find pools in the area.
Yeah.
And what we would do is sneak out and go swimming in the swimming pools.
Well, yeah, we didn't have any pools of our own, so like,
right, and it all started.
We do? It's hot in the summer, and we're just gonna, you know,
and
it's late at night. We're gonna go take a dip in somebody's pool.
And there was one. So there was one. It was an in-ground pool, very nice, surrounded by a fence that was covered by bushes, so you could not see from the outside what was behind the bushes. And we found it via Google Earth.
Yep.
It wasn't that far away. We're like, we're going to
maybe like 5 or 6 blocks away.
We're going to hit this. We're going to hit this fucking pool. And we did all the time. All the time.
Well, it was for sale when we started, so nobody lived there.
Oh, really?
And remember, it had the chain link fence, but at the top were kind of like those
spikes.
Those spikes.
Well, we're beyond statutes of limitations by a stretch.
It's probably not the same owner that bought it.
Well. So we would do this, and then eventually somebody bought the house.
Yep.
And we continued to do
sensors and shit up.
Yep. We continued to do it for a little bit. Fast forward, well beyond 10 years after this, when I was at the radio station still, it was one of my final weeks. My boss comes up to me and goes, "Hey, a buddy of mine needs a ride to the airport. You can take the station van. He's going to pay you $100 to take him." And I was like, "All right, I don't have to use my gas, and I get $100 out of it. Yeah, fuck yeah, I'll drive to Milwaukee and back and burn a work day." And I get the address, and once you know it, it's that dude at that house where we used to pool hop. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm taking this dude to the airport right now. So I'm just like kind of talking to him. I'm just like, "Well, yeah, how long have you lived here?" And he gives me a timeline, and I was just like, yeah, that's around the time when I was doing that. I didn't tell him about it.
I drove past it last weekend, and
memories.
The fence is way different now. They got an all new fence. There's no way you're jumping it.
Well, that's good.
They learned special more bushes and shit around it, and like.
I'm glad we helped them develop this idea.
Well, let's talk a couple more pools that we hopped in, and then I'll explain the reason why we stopped pool hopping.
Okay. Well, originally it started because we were at your house, your old house.
The camper.
Right. And there was a pool just like you had an open. Everyone on that block had kind of an open backyard in a sense.
Yep.
And there was one right there, so we went in it.
Yeah.
That's how it all started. And then we were like, we need to do this more because we're dangerous. We're edgy. We're fucking in 8th grade. Let's do this.
You know, we moved down about a block away. There were a couple different ones.
Right.
So we jumped in some pools about a block away. I remember one time when we were going to house and
Name drop.
Yeah, whatever.
I probably should edit that. No, I probably won't.
It
though.
doesn't matter at this point.
Right. It doesn't.
They had a pool.
We jumped in her pool. That's right.
They know. It's whatever.
Do they know?
I think they do.
I think they figured it out eventually.
Well, we actually got stopped by the cops, like bicycle cop.
Yeah, I was with you.
Yeah, on the way there. And we were like on the way to the pool. And
We didn't
like,
have shirts on.
we didn't have anything. And they're like, oh yeah, like we got reports that people are jumping in pools. And we're like, what? No, none of us would do that.
Didn't we say
Like,
we just said, and they took all of our information down,
Yeah.
and they said they were going to call our parents because we were out past curfew, and we're like, yeah, we're just going to our buddy's house. Our buddy has a pool, and we were gonna go swim for a little bit, and they're just like, oh, you know what time it is? No, officer, we don't know what time it is. That's why we
dumb and
stopped.
young.
That's why we stopped.
no.
No, okay, I was there. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
we did that. We jumped in the pool.
They never did call our parents.
I don't think so.
No, they didn't. I know for a fact they didn't.
Yeah, so it was
Works for
cool.
me.
What why we stopped?
I don't remember. I don't know if
Beer.
I was a part of it. Beer?
Beer. We
'Cause
started drinking.
beer.
We started drinking. We didn't.
When did we start drinking, man?
We were in high school when we really
Okay,
started.
I guess it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I guess
yeah.
that's why we stopped, huh?
We started going to parties.
parties.
Like, what do we need to jump into a pool for? We can go to parties.
Yeah.
And also, once you get to that age, like 16 or so, you can actually get in some big trouble for jumping in somebody's pool.
Yeah.
But when you're like 14, you're like,
Yeah,
whatever.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Trespassing would have been a small fine. We never got caught doing anything. Like, we got caught, but we never
would, dude.
Well,
It's
27 years
decade
old.
ago.
This is
More
a
than-
long time ago. We're cracking open our second beer of the week this week, and it's Deschutes Fresh Squeezed IPA, 6.4 ABVs, 60 on the IBU, topping the double dry hop Pseudo 60. So this fucker is hoppy as shit. This is, of course, from Deschutes Brewery, which is in Bend, Oregon. It's
Oregon.
Is it Oregon?
I'm pretty sure they say Oregon.
Oregon? Okay, I'm sorry. Bond Street Series, this mouth-watering, delicious IPA gets its flavor from a heavy helping of Citra and Mosaic hops. Don't worry, no fruit was harmed in the making of this beer.
Oh, that's good.
Heyo! Do you understand what the different kind of hops are, like Mosaic, Citra?
Not yet.
That means nothing to me.
I'm trying to learn that.
That's
Actually,
smart.
my cousin has a bunch of hops growing on his land, and he's given us some.
So this one is a little different. This one is this beer is definitely is darker than the Pseudo Sue. It is I'd say a good medium. Would you say medium in color?
It's amber, but
amber.
not super dark. It's a pretty normal IPA, reddish amber color.
And it's not very there's not a lot of head to it unless you pour it like I did. And then you are going to get a lot because I did a very poor pour.
A pour.
There you go. The English language, pour. So yeah, I did want to talk about your work history a little bit.
Work history.
Yeah. How many jobs have you had?
Total?
Yeah.
Does it start with the...
The Mac Shack? Was that your first gig?
Well, I babysat before that.
That doesn't count.
Okay. So the Mac Shack. Then in high school, I was working at the Mac Shack, and I also was being paid by the school district to run shows at the theaters.
Oh, really?
I took stagecraft classes. Right. So I was paid to run shows. We haven't talked about this beer yet, though.
No, but you can talk a little bit.
Okay. I ran shows, and then still working at the Mac Shack. And then I did a summer.
It's got the IBUs, baby.
Oh, yeah. Did a summer in a manufacturing company called Mayville Engineering Company.
Didn't Ryan work with monkeys?
In Madison, he did, yes. He was cleaning up their shit as as the scientists were like digging in their brains and shit.
Great.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's wild.
So then after the manufacturing company,
You don't have to give all the company names, but you've had a handful of jobs.
then I went to Peter Pit.
Okay.
Then I bartended
Bartended.
just for a couple months.
Right. And then you went to China.
Then I went to China. I had 2 different teaching jobs in China.
And now
Came
you got
back
this
here. I was
gig.
a substitute teacher. And now I'm a consultant. So that's
a handful of jobs. This is only my 3rd job where I'm at. I was thinking about it. Or I guess you could say 4th. I used to work at the county pool. I guess that's my first job.
Yeah.
Summer job.
Yeah,
That was a good- that was a good fucking
engineering
job.
company that I worked for was just a summer, just one summer.
Right.
So, I mean,
And then I was like, wow. A lot of people can't say they've had less than 5 jobs in their life.
yeah, I mean,
Walmart absorbed a good chunk of my time.
yeah, I did. Most of my jobs were at least 2 years.
Okay.
And then
I was thinking about your first job, McDonald's, and I have a memory of that place.
that was like more than 4 years.
I threw up in that parking lot one time. The first time I ever tried chewing tobacco, I vomited in the parking lot.
Who hasn't vomited in that parking lot?
From chewing tobacco? I don't know.
I mean, not necessarily from chewing tobacco.
Chewing tobacco is
but
disgusting, by the way. Anyone who does it, you need to stop.
it's not.
Hits you hard.
it's
You get
not
the head
pretty.
rush and you vomit all over the place. All over the place.
Yeah.
Deschutes beer here. Very hoppy. Very hoppy. The fresh squeezed IPA. I like it though. You like it?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm trying to see if I have drinking it already. I'm pretty sure I drank it not too long ago.
But you didn't mark it on Untapped, which you need to follow me. You can follow me at Dudes with Brews on the Untapped app.
I'm at Bolts MM. So
There you go.
check me
Matt
out.
Bolts MM. It's cool. Untapped is a cool app because it helps me figure out what beers I have and haven't had on the show.
Exactly.
So I like it.
Just teaches me which beers I've had and which beers I haven't had. And I only got this a couple months ago, so
And I'm
there are a
trying to
lot of
have
beers
every
that I
beer
haven't had.
ever created. Just kidding.
That's a lot of
It's
beer.
impossible.
Hey, nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible.
If you're looking to die, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, like, I like a lot of beers and everything, but I couldn't sit and drink all of the stouts out there because
Right.
I'm just not that big of a stout fan.
I like stouts. I've definitely have grown into an IPA person. I like IPAs.
I love IPAs.
Like Fantasy Factory is delicious. The Pseudo is really good. Juice packets. Have you ever had juice packets?
Juice packets, I don't know. I don't think I have.
Fermentorium, really good. Like that's one of my favorites, and I love it.
I actually just had the fresh squeezed on March 27th.
Okay, not too long ago, huh?
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago.
There you go. He's like predetermined that you knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I gave it a high ranking that time. I gave it a 4.25 on March 27th.
I don't rank them.
You don't rank them?
No, I don't.
Most of my IPAs are going around 4, so I mean it's kind of a lame
I just
way to mark them.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to rank them because I feel like if I don't like it, what if I'm honest about it and say that it's poopy? I don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't want to hurt their feelings.
I don't give a fuck about people's feelings.
You know who doesn't care about people's feelings? Dave Jackson.
Yeah.
Your
Dave.
audio levels. It said in the description he has a conversation with Anna, who is apparently across the room.
Yeah.
How do you handle criticism?
There's a difference between criticism and constructive criticism.
He was constructive in some aspects.
Are you trying to be better after he gave this
Yeah.
critique? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, then he can.
He didn't even tell me. He could have told me. He could have tagged me in a post saying that he did it. I don't even know how he found my podcast. Probably
Stalker.
from some of the hashtags I use, I would assume.
I don't know. I don't hashtag anything.
Hashtag Pattern Family. That's a thing.
What is Pattern Family?
It's for the podcast family. The podcast group. I don't know. Indie podcasts.
Okay.
It's a good way to get people to find your show.
Fair. I don't know if I've ever really, honestly, seriously hashtagged anything.
I hashtag a lot of things. Like, look, I have thought about, like, I don't know what I was gonna say. I completely just lost my thought. Fuck.
You thought about Dave.
I let it bother me. And that's what I do a lot of times. Even when I was in radio, a guy once told me that I was a typical millennial because I said that I want a work-life balance. Because I said I said on air that I feel a work-life balance is very important because I don't live to work, I work to live. And he sent me a message saying how I'm an entitled, typical millennial, always complaining and whining. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
isn't that what anybody wants?
Yeah.
Like,
why would because I was like, why would I want to work 6 days a week and have one day off with my kids and my wife and my friends? Why should anybody have to do that? You know what I mean?
Most weeks you do work six
You're
days
right.
a week.
But I get paid for it.
Yeah.
Before when I was working 6 days a week, I wasn't getting paid shit for it.
Yeah.
So things are different. And I'm also done at 6 a.m. Everyone's sleeping when I work overtime, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, you just, while everyone's sleeping, you work and then come home and you do your
sleep.
The Walking Dad.
I really think I should do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea.
It'd be a standalone podcast where I can just do it by myself whenever I have a spare half hour. Just be like, hey, it's Walking Dad, and
you could bring the kids on too with it.
Yeah, Madison would like that. Ashton can't really have much of a conversation. He can have a little bit more of one.
Yeah, he would tell you like weird random things.
He's a good boy and he's not naughty, and he'll tell me who's a naughty boy in his class and things like that. So, we can stay up on the gossip of 4-year-olds, but Madison always says funny stuff and crazy stuff that's very surprising. Your lovely wife is walking in.
What's up, son?
Hello, son.
What's going on?
How's it going?
I don't know.
She doesn't know.
You don't know anything?
You want to hang out? You want to talk in the podcast a little bit?
No, I really need him help.
You need my help.
Yeah.
Oh, you need help? Do we need to pause?
They wanna me call back.
Okay, let's put this on pause. Something's happening.
All right, we're gonna have to pause for a
Life
second.
event.
Life happens.
Okay, we're kind of back. Matt's been gone for what seems like an eternity. So I'm talking to you fine folks. How you doing? What do you think about this episode so far? Confusing? Why, no, I haven't finished my fresh squeezed IPA. Thanks for asking. I'll continue to sip. Here we go. So delicious. Now tell me, listener, how are you today? What'd you do today? How'd you spend your time? Did you tell yourself that you're beautiful? Did you tell yourself that you're awesome? Because I think you should. No, I'm not drunk. I'm just chilling with my homies. Actually, it's kind of weird. Like, this is weird. The people that do podcasts by themselves, I give you an immense amount of credit. It's just, I don't think I have enough personality to fill time by myself. I should try to do that. We had Derek from the Sometimes Geek podcast on like a week ago, and he did an Ask Me Anything episode, which I thought was awesome. He answered one of my questions that I asked him. Oh, he's coming back. I'm just blabbering because I got really bored. I'm talking about a podcast called the Sometimes Geek podcast. Derek, the host of that show, was on last week.
Okay.
He did an episode, an Ask Me Anything episode.
That's
and I was thinking I do these. I've done 2 so far of these shorter episodes called microbrews. Get it?
Yeah, I saw those. Yeah,
cool ideas. I talked to Bobby Del Rio, who's a actor, writer, director in Canada, and I also talked to Brian King, who is on the show The Shy, which I've recently started watching.
How do you get those guys to?
A dude on Twitter asked me. He's like, "Do you want some guests on your show?" And I said,
yes.
Yeah, why not? And then I started thinking of this concept of 15-minute to a half-hour episodes. They usually go for about a half hour. I'll call them microbrews because they're shorter than the regular episode, and it's more talking about people doing their thing, promoting their stuff. And it's worked out so far. I'm going to reach out to him again and see if he's got any more people that he can align me with, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. And I started watching this show, The Shy. It's pretty good. Really good, actually.
I'm still working on...
Started to binge.
I don't know, man. I've been kind of lost on shows. I just watched Netflix just released the newest season of Trailer Park Boys, and I'm a huge
I've never
Trailer
really
Park Boys
watched
fan.
that.
You got to get onto it, dude. It's something.
But what I was saying before, maybe for a microbrew episode, I can do an Ask Me Anything episode like Derek did. And it was cool. And his predominantly was about gaming. Sometimes Geek Podcast, I don't know if you ever listened to it. He talks about all the headlines in the gaming world and stuff. He's a really cool dude, and he's got good opinions. He plays a lot more games than I do. I wish I could play those games. I could. I'm just lazy sometimes.
Speaking of games, since we're kind of on this, I just bought Far Cry 5.
How's that? Do you have to play the other ones to know what's going on? Because I've never played a Far Cry.
You don't have to play the other ones. I have played the other ones.
Oh, they're like callbacks?
No. So I played 2. I don't know if I played 3. Probably played 3. Played 4. Played a bit of Primal. 5 is sweet.
You know what game's coming out soon that I'm going to buy?
Huh?
God of War.
I've never played any of the God of War games.
Fucking awesome.
Never played any of them. So
it looks awesome.
Yeah, that's some of the differences we've had, I guess.
It comes out on 420, bruh.
You know what else comes out on 420?
What?
Super Troopers 2.
Are you gonna see that in theaters?
No.
I mean,
I'm gonna watch it.
I'll watch it. It'll probably be video on demand right away, I would imagine.
But how long has it been since the original one came out? And how long? How long have they been talking about it? And then how many GoFundMes have been made for it?
Just one.
Well,
they did a Kickstarter.
It was same thing.
A little different.
Kickstarter, GoFundMe, same thing.
Kickstarter is for projects though, versus GoFundMe is
individuals and
anything. I've seen the dumbest GoFundMes ever. If you could make a GoFundMe for yourself, what would you do it for?
Well, I've made one.
Right.
I
did?
I made one to bring my dog back. And
how much money did you get there?
Over $1,000.
I did not contribute. That's sorry.
Fine. I understand.
At that point in time, I just
no. I mean, I
shared it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It was almost $5,000. It was over $4,000 to bring him home, and we got.
You must really love that dog.
Well, you've met him. It's Wisco. He's a big fucking dog that runs around and barks all the time. Yeah, he's cool. I love him. And we got a quarter of what it costs to bring him back from a GoFundMe. And
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's huge.
I saw a GoFundMe once for people that just wanted to travel.
GoFundMe to travel to India, and it's like,
no,
get a job, you fucking hippie.
But yeah, so I was just talking by myself, saying I don't know how Derek does it. He probably has notes, and he does it very well. He does it very smoothly. Good transitions. He does a good job. I don't know how people do podcasts by themselves. And if I start The Walking Dead, I'm going to do it by myself. I'll figure it out.
I think you just kind of take notes throughout your daily life, and then once a week sit down with your notes and
just go over them.
Yeah, hey, oh fuck, you remember Tuesday? Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday! I had me a Tuesday, folks.
Yeah, I fucking Tuesday.
I returned home from work after a long night at the office, and by God, my son called me a fucker. How do you handle that? He's 4 years old. Called me a fucker. I sent him to his room for a little bit. He turned on Paw Patrol, that silly little boy. My son has found a phase, and this is something I could talk, so this could be a segment at The Walking Dead. My son has recently discovered the phase in a thing called mooning.
Oh, nice.
He thinks it is the funniest thing that he's ever discovered. He's like, you know what I could do right now? I can walk into this room of people and just pull down my undies and shake my little booty and just laugh. And he thinks it's funny. And of course,
you know what you got to do.
When he does it,
people laugh.
Everybody laughs.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. He mooned my dad not too long ago. And my dad's like, That's funny. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Don't endorse that behavior. Sure, it's funny.
You know what
it's
you gotta
funny
do?
To hear. It's
you
funny.
gotta find like someone that's really, really big and just scare him.
That's disgusting.
Just have
Like
somebody
have them
that's
whip out
like,
their butt.
oh yeah, like
No.
800 pounds of butt.
How do you find 800 pounds of butt?
Go to Walmart.
Oh God.
I'm not wrong though.
Has anyone ever weighed 800 pounds?
Oh yeah, dude. There are people over.
How do you live?
Over $1,000.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How do you live?
In a bed.
Yeah. You ever watch that show like My 600 Pound Life?
I've heard of it.
Bro, how do you... That's sad.
I did see like not that long ago there was this girl that like wanted to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for heaviest woman, and I was
Why?
like, why would you
So
want that?
unhealthy. You
Your
can't...
heart is gonna just give up.
You can't
Your heart's
be
gonna be like, hey,
comfortable.
fuck you. Like, quit eating.
You know what
I
other
need
show
to-
I don't like? Hoarders. It's disgusting.
That's
Why
just
is it-
scary. That's a true disease, bro. That's
Why is it called hoarding on the show Hoarders, but on American Pickers they're called collectors?
well, I think
They're hoarders. They're straight
Ameri-
hoarders, dude.
On America Pickers, hopefully it's
Have you-
not in their fucking house.
Well, it's in there.
It's in their
other
shed
stuff.
and in their.
I've seen one where like it was a house and the dude hoarded clocks and he made paths in his house.
Yeah.
He's got a problem,
That's a huge problem.
and then he won't let go. Like, what are you gonna do with all those clocks? Nothing.
Dude, he's just watching.
You know what time it
pass.
is? You got a fucking cell phone. That's all you need.
And you know what? My cell phone has like 6 clock apps, so I can see all these
He's got
different clocks.
He's got every time in the entire world. He's got enough clocks to know what time it is at any time in the world.
and it's not on purpose. He just hasn't been able to change all the clocks.
Even a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Yeah,
Heyo.
exactly.
I'd say I'm a broken clock. Is Sam coming?
Oh, yeah, I think that's Sam.
All right, well, let's wrap this up, all right, real quick. And are we going to do another one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to do double duties. Double dry hop, Pseudo Pale Ale from Toppling Goliath. Really good, really good. Drink it or dump it. I say you drink the shit out of it.
Oh, the Pseudo you definitely drink. That's,
Very good, very good.
It's a nice beer.
Deschutes Fresh Squeeze IPA. I say we drink it as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're both high quality beers. We're drinking both
Hi,
of them.
Sam.
What's going on, Sammy?
We'll get to you in a minute. Well, we'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Pew Pew Audio. Goodbye, everyone.